I was diagnosed with cancer 15 years ago, stage 4 melanoma. That was a shock to me. And I think probably in that moment, that was a very defining moment of different way of handling my life. Again, was still running the other business, never intended to change anything, but I've also learned to never say never because anything can change. We all know the world can change at any given moment. And so just kind of go with the flow, give more grace to people. And that really can define who you are, how you show up for other people, and the connections that you create. What you see with me is what you will always get. If you really want to get to know me, then we're going to hang out. But what you see is who I am all the time.
Welcome back. Today I'm sitting down with Samantha Mendoza, and today we're gonna talk about Samantha's story, her background, how she's built her business, and also her team, so you guys can get to know her. Samantha, for people that don't know you, do you mind sharing a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me here today. Like you said, I'm Samantha Mendoza, and I am a realtor with Remax Professionals in Reno, Nevada. My license, of course, covers all of Nevada, but we focus on Northern Nevada, mostly Washoe County, Carson County, and Douglas County, but we definitely go to the outskirts. A little bit about me. I never intended to be a real estate agent, not in my box at all. I ran a business for 25 years. I like to call it my past life. It is a lot of what built my character and who I am today. After COVID, going through a lot of things in our life, it was time for a change. I didn't see it coming. I had a conversation with one of my 5 sister-in-laws, and she said, "I think you should go be in real estate." And I said, "No way. I am not doing that. I'm not going back to school. I'm not interested." So I sat down with a friend of mine who actually teaches the classes, and she kind of said, "I've been waiting for you to come chat with me," which was a surprise for me. So long story short, I went through the classes, passed it on the first go, and I was like, okay, I love education. I've always been big on education. That's how I was raised. My parents raised 4 independent, strong, opinionated women, but all on education and what we can do with our futures. So that's how I've raised my own kids. So I just decided, why not? Let's see if this can work. I was going to do both businesses at the same time because I was certain that that was going to work and I could do both. Little did I know that with the sphere of people that I've surrounded myself with over the years would bring me as much business as they have. And so I grew really fast, really unexpectedly. And I learned quick that I couldn't do both together. I believe there's a lot of people who can. I'm not one of them. And probably because I do so much business and I pour my whole heart into everything that I do. So became an agent just over 4 years ago. So I've only been at this a short time, but I've been a salesperson my whole life. Yeah. I've never in my whole life worked an 8 to 5. I learned a long time ago I'm better to work for myself than for someone else because I can yell at myself. I don't like when other people yell at me.
It's me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were you doing before? What was your business before?
I actually ran the Tupperware franchise for Nevada. So
No way.
I did it for a long time. Again, didn't have intentions to do that for a long time. I'm a firm believer of you get what you pay for. So I'm not a brandy person, but I stand behind brands that bring great value. And that's a great value. I believe that to this day. Being involved in other companies throughout the years, I have always felt like if you can get behind that, you can sell it. You can sell anything if you love what you do. But for me, it's not just about sales. And so in that business, you learn to work with a lot of people, specifically women. I've run teams of 200 people at any given point in time, mostly women. We had some great gentlemen on our team as well. So that wasn't a stranger to me. I've run teams. I didn't ever plan on doing that again. That's obviously changed as well. I learned a lot of leadership skill, character building, how to be a better salesperson, how to solve problems that people have, whether it's in the kitchen. I'm not even a cook. I don't love to cook. I know how to cook. There's just certain things I choose to do. But if you don't know how to do something, you got to find the tools on how to do it. And if something like that company could change people's lives just through giving them confidence on learning how to cook or do something better, or even helping women get in front of a camera, get on stage, talk in front of groups, that it did all of that too. So it wasn't just about selling a product. It was about building up confidence in women. And I really take a lot of pride in that.
And that was your time at Tupperware.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So you said, you've got some kids, you're a wife of 25 plus years, a mom to 3 boys. How do you balance having a business plus all of that?
It's a challenge every day. I'm very blessed with my kids. I always joke that I never had girls because I'm very girly girl.
Mm-hmm.
My girls come to me blessed in other ways. But I love my boys. I always wonder, why did God give me just boys? And I've learned more and more. We love fast cars and I love boy things, but with them, they're very independent. We've made a purpose. My husband and I, we've been together over 30 years, 32 years, married for 25. We've made it a purpose from day one that we're going to raise independent kids. Yeah. We didn't have a lot. He had even less than I did growing up. So if we can give to them, we do. My husband probably more so than I do. But we've raised independent kids. So that side of it's a little easier, running the business, being a real estate agent personally, and then running a team. That can be challenging. I'm very big on putting times in everything. We time block everything down to picking up the kids and having lunch. So you're like, oh, I'm hungry. I wonder why. Meeting with clients, family time, all of that has to really be time blocked. So if you're diligent about that, and I'm a firm believer, if you want something bad enough, you'll figure it out or you'll find an excuse. And I don't find excuses.
That's great. I'm a firm believer as well. And my mom is a mom to 3 boys, me being one of them. So completely understand where you're coming from, not from the mom sense, but from the son sense.
But you respect your mom in a different way.
Yeah, I can't imagine, all the sacrifice her and my dad made to give us a good life.
Yeah.
Now that I have an 11-month-old of my own, first kid, boy also, it gives me a whole newfound level of respect for what my parents did and the sacrifices they made and the time, effort, and money they put into giving us a good life. So
absolutely,
when you have your first kid, it gives you that brand new perspective that you would never get otherwise, which I'm grateful for. It also shapes you in ways you have to, in my opinion, level up to become a better version of yourself to raise kids well. Yeah. And you can easily not care about that and not care about raising your kids very well either. So, it can go either way. But tell us a little bit about the team. What do you guys focus on as far as when you help clients, and how do you guys go above and beyond, and how do clients benefit from working with you guys other than somebody else?
Well, I'll start with saying I never intended to have a team. When I changed careers, I said, I'm not doing a team again. I want to do something a little bit different. God always has different plans for us. And one of my dearest friend's daughter came to me and said, I want to be on your team. I said, nope, I'm not doing that. You can watch me. My niece, who's on our team as well, she's been shadowing me for a while, and I was always okay with that. I'm always happy to help other people, but I wasn't doing the team. And then it just kind of grew. My broker said, you're going to need to get an assistant. You're going to grow a team fast. And I said, no, I'm not. And here we are.
Well, so you've only been you've been an agent for 4 years, which that's a meteoric rise. Tell us a little bit about what were your sales like? I know last year, 75% of agents didn't close a single deal, right? You're in year 3 last year. What did that look like for you? What did business look like on your end?
My first year, actually, I was only 6 months in and I did 5 transactions and I was not happy with that. I raised the bar for myself all the time. The following year, I did 17 by myself, no TC, no assistant. I had some great mentors, but I did a lot by myself. And I'm one of those people that I feel like I don't want the help because I'm going to do it different and probably better anyway, which is not always the case. There's lots of people out there who can be of great help and make you better. And so the third year I actually did 35 deals on my own. And that was going from one brokerage to the next, just implementing the systems that they have in place, a lot more structure. And I realized I really needed that. I've always given that, but as the person who gives it all the time, sometimes you don't see it and receive it for yourself. So I took that on, and that's when all of a sudden everything blew up. And I realized that I needed the leverage. And if I can help serve more people with more people next to me, I always like to say the team is alongside me, not behind me. So we do everything together. So we just continued to grow. We've pretty much grown every single year. And last year, on our team, we did a little more than what I did by myself the year before, and it was finding that balance and time blocking and teaching new people how to do the same thing. So one of the agents on my team right now, when she joined us, she did 11 deals in her first year, and she works full time. Wow. And she definitely sets a different tone. Not everybody can do that. But she was able to just run at it. She mimics everything that I do. She asks for guidance. She's not afraid to ask for help. And I appreciate that because not everybody does that very well. And because of it, she became one of the top agents within Remax Professionals, as well as one of the fastest growing new agents in the 5 offices that we have. So it gives me a lot of pride to be a part of that. And that's how I know we're going to continue to grow. We just brought on another agent this week, and we have 3-4 more agents in school right now that are going to join us before the end of summer. So I always like to say I like fresh meat because they're willing to learn the new way of doing things. They're not set in the back like sometimes people can be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you went from 5 your first year to 17 to 35, I believe you said. So you tripled and then doubled again and then continuing to grow, which is phenomenal. Yeah.
And we'll probably double that this year.
Wow. Good for you. And all that from saying you didn't want to build a team. Yep. And here you are. So apparently you're good at it, which is great. I mean, what moment in your life, this is one of the questions I've been wanting to ask since we started. What moment in your life shaped you the way you show up in real estate today?
The way I was brought up. I always say not everybody gets to choose. Nobody gets to choose where you're born, who you're born into, what you deal with. My husband's a great example of this, of you can come from not having a lot to choose to want more for yourself, for your kids, for the people you're around. He's a great example of sharing and giving to other people. And that's how my parents raised us and my grandparents. And so I think for me, just watching other people, I've grown into myself as well. I've learned to become more patient. Kids will do that to you.
Oh, yeah.
And just watching and giving grace to other people. I was diagnosed with cancer 15 years ago, stage 4 melanoma. That was a shock to me. And I think probably in that moment, that was a very defining moment of different way of handling my life. Again, was still running the other business, never intended to change anything, but I've also learned to never say never because anything can change. We all know the world can change at any given moment. And so just kind of go with the flow, give more grace to people. And that really can define who you are, how you show up for other people, and the connections that you create. What you see with me is what you will always get. If you really want to get to know me, then we're going to hang out. But what you see is who I am all the time.
So stage 4 melanoma, wow. And you beat that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there's remission. I've been cut open 20 times. Wow. So I just go through the motions. A lot of people don't know that about me because I will show up every time. I don't leave the house not ready to go. If you see me leave the house not ready to go, there was an emergency. And that's how my mom taught us.
Yeah, always be ready. That's great. Let's talk a little bit about homeowner information and what people can take away if they're looking to buy a home or sell a home. What's the biggest secret homeowners don't know when it comes to selling their house?
The market changes all the time, and take the advice of your agent. We pay for that license. We pay to be trained. I'm really big on education, so I'm going to always do what's best for my seller. I think sellers a lot of times get bent on, this is what my house is worth. This is the value. A buyer's only going to pay what a buyer is going to pay, and that's what the value is. Now, some people can be dismissive of certain things, but at the end of the day, it's only worth what it is. I've been in my house 20 years. There's a lot of memories there, and I might think it's worth so much more, and I've put so much blood, sweat, and tears into it. But at the end of the day, it's only worth what the market says it's worth. And I think sellers get stuck on that a little bit, and we have to be more open to understanding that. And I think agents need to be okay with telling the seller that. If you're not honest with your seller, you're not being honest with yourself.
And that can just lead to delayed satisfaction down the road.
Absolutely.
what's the fastest way someone can sell their home right now?
The fastest way is a cash option. Cash is king. But being realistic. So if you do all the steps, there's no perfect scenario. I really don't believe that there's a perfect scenario, but the fastest way to selling, get it ready, get it prepped, make sure that your agent is doing video content, pictures, that they're spreading the love to everybody. It's not just in one location. If your agent isn't doing social media, they're missing out. Your house should be on social media everywhere because that's the first place the buyer's looking. Not when they walk through the door. They look at all the pictures and all the video, and everybody likes different style of things. So it's important for an agent to do all the things to make sure that we address every buyer that's out there, whether they're old school or they're only looking online first. We're ready to go.
Totally. I don't think many people understand how much time and effort and money are put in by agents
Yeah.
to help market homes, aside from just listing it on the MLS and it showing up on Zillow or Redfin or what have you.
Right.
Is it true you can sell your house without fixing anything?
Absolutely. So part of what we do, we have lots of avenues on the Samantha Mendoza and Homegirls team. That we also are part owners of WeBuyHouses.com. So we have an investor group that will come in, they'll look at your house, they'll assess it as is, but they're very realistic. There's a lot of investors out there. Our investor, he's very realistic of what is it going to cost him to take that house and make it marketable again to all of the prospective buyers. Everybody has different styles. So he does things in a very honest, upfront way, and he'll tell you that. And he'll even tell a seller, you know what, you don't want to do this cash option. You want to list your house and get more money for it online. But if you have broken HVAC, broken water heater, broken this or that, and you don't want to invest all of that and repaint the walls and do the things that really make it shine, then you might want to look at a cash option. And we give everybody every option from the start so that you're comfortable with the decision that you've made best for you and your family.
Okay. So people can come in, or investors can come in and give you cash, and then they'll take care of the rest.
Absolutely.
They got to build in their
You
margin.
can leave everything.
Yeah. They've got to build in their margin too. And that's,
Absolutely.
That's part of being an investor and being in business. You can't run a nonprofit and do that kind of stuff. So, I mean, that's a big financial decision for a seller to make, right? Is deciding on what they should do. How do you protect your clients from making a bad financial decision?
I think really listening to other options and taking time to think about it. Obviously, as agents, we're always trying to get the sale right now, but that's not honest always either. So I really try to be very upfront with my sellers and just lay it out for them. Some people like to see it on paper, give them all the options there. Some people just want to sit down with them. My investors come with me when we do presentations so they can hear it direct from them. They don't feel like I'm sugarcoating something. And then we just help them through that process to understand what it's about. It's a pretty cool deal. And the way our investor works is he's gonna pay the agent. So seller cuts the cost of that. He's gonna pay your title and escrow fees. You cut the cost of that. There's no fixing anything up. You pack what you want. You can leave the rest, and we take care of it. And that's a huge savings for a seller that sometimes they don't see. And so we present it on a net sheet as well so they can see that piece.
Okay, so you lay out all the options line item by line item, essentially.
Absolutely.
Hey, here's what your net will be if you go the cash option. Here's what it'll be potentially if you list it. But here's what we need to do to get it to that price.
Yeah.
Here's what it'll cost. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Who should not list their home right now on the market?
I think if you're really in love with your house and you're just doing it to check it out, don't list your house for two reasons, because you might have regrets and nobody wants to live in the world of regret. But also when you list your house, you got to be ready to go. And contracts are built and designed to protect a buyer more so than a seller. So if you commit to that, you got to be ready to go. And also if your house fits your needs right now, there's no reason to sell. You want to have the house that fits the family dynamics that you need. So even for a buyer, if you're like, this house doesn't really work for me, but I'm settling, why? There's other options. I'm a really good negotiator, and I will help you find the house that you want and get you all the deals that you want, probably at a whole less cost than what you're doing right now, even with higher interest rates.
You don't want to dip your toes in the water per se.
Yeah.
You want to
be ready.
Yeah, dive in head first. I want to go back to building a team. I know you had said you don't want to build a team. What made you change? What made you change your mind on that?
Of realizing there's other people who wanted to be a part of what I was offering. And I'm a pretty humble person. It's When people give me a compliment, I'm like, oh, but my team did this or we did this. I'm always about presenting them. I also have learned that God gave me skills that I can pass to others. So why keep them all locked up inside of me when I can share that with other people? And why not surround myself with other amazing people? I've been surrounded by some pretty amazing people, and I love that part of this business.
I think that's the best part of it. I tell my partner Brian all the time. He's twice my age, but we love working together. And I tell him,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is so much more fun going through all of this with you and us in the trenches together
Yeah.
than doing it alone. And just having that camaraderie and that there's always ideation going on between us, and there's always talking about the next dream or the next goal to reach or
Yeah.
what have you, right? But also, I think in your case too, being able to pass along those skills, like you mentioned, these are types of skills that can help build generational wealth too.
100%.
It can
Absolutely.
change a family's life and future generations' trajectory by learning things like this. So it's phenomenal that you recognize that and lean into it and don't.
I think too, as you're younger than your mentor, I have younger gals on my team. I've had older. Learning from the young people is so important because they can teach us things that we don't know. My kids teach me about technology all the time and doing different things and just hearing different, like you said, ideology, just hearing somebody else's perspective on maybe your idea. You're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Let's try that this way. And being willing to do that, you don't get that when you're by yourself.
No, you can get stuck in your own echo chamber. I'm a big believer that one of the most powerful traits one person can possess today, in today's world, is the ability to say, wow, that's something new and interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe I should consider it, and not burying your head in the sand and thinking that anything that anyone else says outside of what you believe is not correct. And
Absolutely.
that you're not going to listen to it, because
Yeah.
there is so much knowledge and information and love to be shared from other people that sometimes doesn't always align with how we currently see things. But if you're not willing to go down that road a little bit, you'll never recognize that. And so, yeah, I think it's great that you're able to step back and say, wow, okay, that's something new. That's interesting. Maybe I should check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to touch on too, I know you've got a TV show, American Dream TV. Tell me a little bit about the TV show.
So I was asked to be a part of the American Dream TV show. I actually thought it was a scam. They asked us all to come to the Grand Sierra, to the conference room. I was like, where am I going? This is scary. Long story short, I was integrated into the program. You have to be selected. They say that they choose all the top real estate agents in town at the time. And he tells me not to say this, but at the time I was brand new as an agent, but I'd been on TV a lot because during COVID in my past business, that was the way we did everything. That was how we presented sales to people. Was on Zooms and Facebook and all the social media outlets. So we started doing the TV show. A lot of people don't realize we actually pay for the licensing fee. They don't pay us. I'm one of the longest lasting so far, if not the longest in the last 3 years of Nevada, at least for sure, Northern Nevada hosts that have been doing this. The show is all about producing positive media. We see enough negative out there in the world. It's often the first thing we see on social media, on the news and all that. So if we can bring a positive outlet to people, why not? What I super love about the show is it's based on lifestyle, culture, and real estate. I didn't do a lot with real estate in the beginning because I wanted to showcase all my friends and all the people that have helped me grow in business over the years. And so, but also just people who are doing genuinely a good job, who deserve that camera front, that maybe don't always get it. We've done things with the lowrider community. I'm very well tied to different car communities, the lowrider community. A lot of people have my heart there. We do a lot of stuff with the Chicano community as well. We've done stuff in restaurants. We did the country ranch. I was brought up and raised in Gardnerville. So of course I got to go back to my roots. A lot of people don't realize I have a twin sister. And so she's introduced me to some people because we're polar opposites. So we do things a little different. We've also done things at Roller Kingdom. We are now partnering with some of the builders in the community because they love video content. So if we can do this on a really high level skill, then why not? We featured the Pennington Mansion. It is the third largest home in Nevada. It is the biggest home in northern Nevada. And so why not showcase it in a really fun way? Sometimes we theme them. It's just different. So I really like to focus mostly on women-owned businesses. We do a lot of veteran stuff, and we do a lot with diversity. That's really important to me as well. So I like to open the door for everybody, and I love being able to feature people in our community and just do things different. So it's all about positive media.
That's excellent. Samantha Mendoza, American Dream TV. You can go search it.